We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
You know, when it comes to home decor for us movie geeks, it's really the usual go-to movie posters of our favorite movies. But we're always on the hunt, looking for that special, unique piece that we can brag about to our friends. And that's exactly what Mark and his team has done for us over at moviepalette.com. They came up with a pretty ingenious idea of taking the entire color palette from our favorite movies and moving them onto canvas wall art, where each stripe of color is put in chronological order and represents that particular color for that particular scene. And it's awesome. And each palette is handcrafted by their in-house artists who are movie geeks just as much as we are. Choose your canvas from your favorite movie, from Gone with the Wind to this year's hit, The Batman, even TV shows. And if they don't have the movie or TV show you're looking for, you can even customize your own color palette. They have all different types of sizes you can choose. You can choose premiere or regular, or you can even add the name of the movie on your canvas. With my first selection, I chose the color palette from one of my favorite 80s sci-fi movies, The Empire Strikes Back, and I absolutely love this thing. It looks great and fits perfectly on my wall in my studio. Order your movie canvas today at moviepalette.com and make sure to tell them TwinFlix sent you by using your personalized code TWIN15 to get 15% off your order today. Hey movie junkies, welcome back to TwinFlix, where we always celebrate the magic of movies and most importantly physical media with you. Now first, before we get into this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to all our new subscribers out there. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, sharing. You guys really seem to dig our content and the comments have been overwhelming. We really appreciate it and it makes all the hard work we do with these videos well worth it. Just a real quick here, to give you guys a little heads up of some new videos coming out. I received this from 88 Films, Drive in 4K. Yes, 88 Films has entered the 4K UHD market, and the first outing is with Drive. And I'm going to be comparing it with MVD's Rewind Collection Blu-ray release. I believe it was last year or the year before, with their version of Drive. Also, as you can see here, I just received this from Shop Factory, Platoon 4K UHD, and I'm going to compare it to their previously released Blu-ray, Criterion's Blowout. This is the 4K, and I'm going to compare it to Criterion's Blu-ray. And this comes out in October 25th. I got this from Synapse Films, and it is the Kindred. And of course, as we all know, Star Trek has finally hit the UHD format. I am going to compare all these with the 2009 Blu-rays. So we have Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. And of course, couldn't be complete without this, Star Trek The Motion Picture, the Director's Edition. I went ahead and splurged and picked this up. This is the Complete Adventure Collector Set. I'm going to do an unboxing and all that in the video, but instead of doing a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison on the motion picture, I decided to do something a little different, and I'm going to do a comparison between the theatrical cut and the new director's cut or the director's edition. So that's going to be fun to do. So yeah, keep an eye out for all of these and more 4K versus Blu-ray comparison reviews and some movie reviews as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider being a subscriber, and also make sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when all these new videos drop. But as you can tell from the title of this video, we're not talking about those, we're talking about this right here. And this was released just this week. Shout Factory released this in 4K UHD. First of all, I never expected in a million years that this would get a UHD release. And that is 1981's Tobe Hooper's classic horror, The Funhouse. And I am going to be comparing it with Shout Factory's previous release Blu-ray, compare the differences, and give my little review, and if it's worth upgrading or if you don't have the Blu-ray to pick up. So let's get to it. Funhouse was first released by Shout Factory way back in 2012 with a 2K transfer, but now Shout is making its way through the UHD format, and they decided to give Funhouse a brand spanking new 4K UHD restoration from the original 35mm negative with, of course, added HDR and Dolby Vision, and all approved by the film's DP. First off, for all you naysayers out there that are bitching and complaining on 4K groups and social media that Shout Factory ruined the Funhouse, that it's so dark I can't see it, that colors are washed out, this completely proves you're wrong, and you probably never even watched the new 4K of the Funhouse, because the differences are night and day. Just take a look at these shots here. It's incredible, and this is completely faithful to Tobe Hooper and the DP's original vision and color and intended look of the film. The biggest improvement is with the details and texturals from clothing and objects, and they're all razor sharp and much cleaner, where now you can better make out all the details when we're inside the Funhouse, where I was able to pick up on new details that I honestly never noticed before, which is always a plus, and all these details look phenomenal. And when comparing it to the previous Blu-ray, it crushes it. Other details and texturals with facial close-ups are much healthier and defined, where you can make out all the skin imperfections, complexions, pores. But the biggest improvement is with the use of HDR Dolby Vision grading that looks immensely richer and more vibrant across the board with all the primary colors. The variety of different shades of reds, the electric blues, yellows, the cotton candy pinks, rusty oranges are all dramatically bolder while also staying truer to the original colors. Black levels are also terrific with deeper, inkier blacks and brighter, crisper whites that the Blu-ray just never had. And the Blu-ray was plagued with some crushed blacks and not very crisp or white whites. The saturation and contrast levels are improved with much better balances. The grain structure is also much tighter, with a nice field of grain giving a terrific filmic and dimensional look, which is something the Blu-ray just never had. As for the audio, the Funhouse does have the same audio tracks as was on the 2012 Blu-ray, a lossless DTS HD 5.1 surround track, and the stereo track. Now, while the audio is more front-heavy, it still has a great sense of presence and fidelity that has an active soundstage with some very nice background activity, more so with ambient effects though. The film score is also engaging and energetic and is spread through the surround channels. The low ends, while aren't bombastic, you're not going to get booming low ends, it's still very adequate, giving the sound a good amount of depth to it. Dialogue is also rendered clear and distinct, and I found absolutely zero audio anomalies. Now the stereo track, however, I'll be honest, does sound more faithful to the original sound design, and it works. With good fixed placement and sound effects, music has some good impact as well. Dialogue is also clear and crisp. So honestly, either track you choose are both terrific choices. So I'm giving Shout Factory's 4K UHD release of the Funhouse an overall score for video and audio a 4 out of 5. This is definitely a worthy upgrade over the 2012 dated Blu-ray. But let me know over in the comments, when you look at the differences here with these screenshots between the Blu-ray and the 4K format, which do you think looks better? Or do you see any improvement at all? Let me know in the comments. As always, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and spend just a few minutes here with me with this 4K Blu-ray comparison review. And as always, keep doing your part in keeping physical media alive, and I'll see you next time.